Hello YouTube, my name is Edrick and welcome back to the Can They Be DLC series, and today we're going to be combining two characters into one video. We're going to be talking about Dragon Quest and Kingdom Hearts in the same episode because mostly they came from A, the same company, B, they're both RPGs, and C, I know very little on either. So I'm not going to give my opinions on the character movesets and the possibilities. I'm just going to give my opinion on either or. So the first one, let's get this out of the way, will be Sora. Do I think Sora will be a character DLC? No. That's it. No, I mean 25% I would say, 25% chances of getting in, mostly because it's a popular pick from fans. Now will it? I don't think so. Nintendo to go through, first things first, these characters were decided by Nintendo, so it means that most likely there are deals going on backstage. Persona 5, we all know it's coming to Switch. Persona R at the very least. Yes, it was teased for the PS4, but we won't hear anything about it until March, I think March. So it puts things into perspective, and like they're gonna absolutely announce it for Switch. I think that the reason why I haven't talked about it is because the game's coming out for PS4, or the game's already out for PS4. They announced it for the PS4, but it's definitely coming. I feel, even if it isn't, Persona Atlas has gotten a bunch of games on Nintendo systems. Persona Q2 is coming, and they've announced it for the West. And I would not be sure. Shin Megami Tensei 5 is coming to Switch, and I wouldn't be shocked if we got more games from Atlas being announced relatively soon as they move on from the 3DS to the Switch. And Kingdom Hearts doesn't have that. I went and checked. The last time a Kingdom Hearts game launched on the Nintendo system was Dream Drop Distance. I believe that's the name of the game. Let me see if I can get the name of the game right. I believe it's Dream Drop Distance, and it launched in 2012. So not only 2012, here's how long ago it launched. It launched on March 29th, 2012. That was 8 years, 11 months, and 27 days is the day of this recording. So yeah, and it was Dream Drop Distance. I was correct. How about that one? But yeah, unlike Final Fantasy, that at the very least still got spin-offs and all that stuff on Nintendo systems that showed up with Cloud, which allowed Cloud to get in. We haven't seen that from Kingdom Hearts. Now, sure, Kingdom Hearts is not coming to Switch, and at the time of the game starting development, we didn't know, and there was nothing about the Switch yet, so they couldn't make the game with the Switch in mind. It's also very interesting to say that we haven't got anything else from it. We haven't gotten the Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 collection, or the collection of all the games put together in HD. They haven't come to Switch. And Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming to the Xbox One now. Here's the thing. We didn't have Final Fantasy games announced at the very least until September, but it's good to remember one very important thing, very important thing, is that there's no reason to delay. Those games could come out at any point in time. They made no difference. They could literally have been announced at the launch of the Switch. That wouldn't have mattered because they would not want anyone to buy a brand new Final Fantasy game that was coming out. Okay, and to a certain extent, that's why I'm bringing this up. Any Final Fantasy could have come out at any point in time. Kingdom Hearts has been out. The Switch has been out for 2 years now. Basically, it's 2 years in a month. Well, the day of this going up, exactly a month. No Kingdom Hearts game. Nothing. No Kingdom Hearts game announced, no collection, nothing. Now sure, 3 is not coming to Switch, so be it. It's coming to Xbox One for whatever reason, but why haven't the collections been on Switch? And why haven't the collections been announced for Switch? Because unlike the Final Fantasy collections and the Final Fantasy games that have been announced, Kingdom Hearts does have a game coming out. It's Kingdom Hearts 3. But it's not the other games. But it's not coming to Switch, and let's be completely honest. The announcement and the release of an old game is not going to matter for the new one. Okay, or the announcement. Let's say that Kingdom Hearts the collection entire, I believe it's called The Story So Far, is announced in November for the Switch, but it comes out, well, let's see, give and take a couple of months, April. Let's say it comes out in April 2019. Would the sales for Kingdom Hearts 3 in January really be affected by the collection coming for Switch 2 months after the game came out on the other systems? No, or it wouldn't. It just doesn't make any sense. Now, if had they announced Kingdom Hearts 3 for Switch a week before the game came out, I could see that eating up the sales of that version on other systems. The PS4 version in Japan would have gotten maybe a little bit of its sales data bitten out of it because of the Switch version. The Xbox One version in the West might have suffered a little bit from the sales from that. Not too sure on PS4, but still. But the collection, the story so far, would it really? I don't think so. It makes no sense to me. Why would it? The Direct was announced in September. Let's say if in September they had announced it, it would make no difference. Had it been Kingdom Hearts 3, sure. This, no, it wouldn't. And it makes no sense to me. Why would it? And yeah, that's why I don't. And then obviously Nintendo to get Sora in. Nintendo would also have to deal with Disney, and that's a whole nother can of worms to go there. And Disney might have some requirements and make the character more trouble than it's worth. And then we have the Dragon Quest character that's mostly talked about is Edrick from Dragon Quest, I believe 1 and 3. I could be wrong. Oh, is it from 3? I don't know, but it doesn't matter. It's a Dragon Quest character. This was obviously been rumored for a while, speculated for a while. Dragon Quest is one of the few franchises, I'll say, from third parties that needs to be in Smash Brothers. It needs the representation. It deserves the representation. I think Dragon Quest joins like the likes of like Mortal Kombat, in the likes of better for worse Skyrim. I think there are certain franchises that if you say their name out loud or in the discussion to be in Smash Bros, they kind of deserve it. Dragon Quest is one of them. What's the other one? I literally had a list on my head, and I had a list of like characters and franchises that absolutely need a representation in Smash, but not necessarily as a playable character, but they need to representation. And Erdrick, I believe it's the name. Would it make sense? Sure. I believe Dragon Quest 3 is the most popular one? Question mark? I don't know much about the franchise. I'm just gonna move on from that. But still, Dragon Quest is a popular franchise in Japan. They're trying to make it popular in the West, I guess. I mean, they launched the game on PS4 and PS4 only in the West, and the game didn't sell particularly well. I mean, people were saying it sold double what the best-selling one on the West did, forgetting about the fact that the game cost double or more than double on PS4 and the DS, so it really didn't matter. Also, opening month doesn't account for legs. The game, as far as I know and as far as I've heard, hasn't been the trailblazer in the West, or had any legs to speak of. Even in Japan didn't have particularly strong legs, so I don't think they managed to do that with 11. I guess maybe not, I don't know. Also, the game came out only on PS4 right in the middle of September, right there with Spider-Man looking right at it. It was a bad time. It's bad all around when companies. Sometimes you cannot blame the people that have a system or the people that didn't buy the game but wanted to, or companies for the bad decision of third party. You know, releasing that game in September, which was already starting to be crowded because of Red Dead in October, it was a bad idea, bad decision all around. The type of game like that needs to come out earlier for it to have time to breathe. You know, the moment you launch a game in September, you already are asking for the game to not do as well, because unless you're a big name, you're exclusive to a system that doesn't have a particular big game coming out in that time period, you're not going to do too well. Like in September we had, what was it? It was Spider-Man, I think Call of Duty was October, but anyway, what else was it? I know it was another game, another big game came out around this, and obviously you have FIFA, and you had the other games that were coming out in September, but the fact that it launched like I believe the same week as Spider-Man really would have hurt it. It's like if you launched any third-party game at the same time as Nintendo launched Smash Bros. Or launching at the same time as like God of War, or launching at the same time as Halo. It's a bad idea all around. You put your game there, you're asking for trouble. Now you could say, but the game probably couldn't have been done earlier. Well, why did they wait so long to make the translation? Why did they take so long to translate the game? The game came out a year earlier in Japan. It was a done game. Sure, they were fixing issues, but they were doing translation. Like, they should have done translation from the beginning. I think the problem with a lot of Japanese games that don't break out in the West is because of like they don't do day and date. Look at Xenoblade Chronicles, for example, 2. They did day and date with 2 but not with X. Look at the difference in sales. Now sure, you could say X is a worse game. I wouldn't say it's worse. Well, I would say it's worse. It's not a worse game. It's just a more incomplete game in some sense. And gameplay wise it's not the best in other aspects. So that's one. 2 sold tremendously better than 1, sure, an X, and sure you could say, but the install base matters. And it does, but look, another good example, Pokemon. Pokemon sales data have actually in the West been pretty goddamn good. Now sure, it was always good, but when they started doing day and date releases, the sales improved. Final Fantasy, the same thing, like day and date, and boom, there goes the sales once again. And I believe Resident Evil did that too. I could be wrong. Most likely I'm wrong. But like having such a distant time. Not only that, it was the first Dragon Quest game in a while that Square Enix actually was doing the translation, if I'm not mistaken, because the other ones were on Nintendo systems. Those ones were only done by were published by Nintendo in the West. Funnily enough, just a fun little fact. I don't think we've heard numbers for Dragon Quest XI in the West, but we do have Dragon Quest Octopath Traveler numbers for the West. Octopath Traveler was published by Nintendo in the West, and we know it did over 1 million in the West. So congratulations everybody that owned the game. That was awesome. That was a good number to hear, that Octopath Traveler, because a lot of people were not expecting much, and because it was a third-party game on Switch, it was going to flop. But it did 1 million. We haven't heard any numbers from Dragon Quest XI, but I'm moving away way too much from the topic. Could Edrick, could be he or she, I believe it's both, be in the game? Sure it can, and its likelihood is high. If it is one of the most, Dragon Quest should be in Smash Bros. In any way, shape or form. And the game's, what is it? And Dragon Quest XI is coming to Switch in 2019, so it makes perfect sense. Aligns it up like Joker, aligns it up with the future release of the franchise in the Switch. Makes sense. And there's not a lot more to say, except one thing that I think it will be, and I believe data miners have kind of sort of found out data about him. I don't know why I did my head movements like this. It's a little bit stupid. The data miners found something, like I believe like they found Piranha Plant, Joker, and Erdrick, or a character they are assuming is a Dragon Quest character, based on codename, I think, which was Brave, which I think it's a codename for Dragon Quest games in development. I don't know how factual this could be and how likely this is, because we can be looking at names and then, oh, it's this, and then we get played and it's something else. So yeah, I won't put too much stock in it, but if I had to guess, a Dragon Quest character is like 75% chances. I think it's one of the most likelihood things out there is that Dragon Quest somehow, somewhere will be making it into Smash. And it should, honestly, it should. It's one of the franchises that deserves it. The moment like you hear Dragon Quest, especially in Japan, it's like, yeah, it should be. Like Castlevania, for example. It's a franchise for years and years. We will be like, you would talk about like Castlevania and Smash, and people are like, fuck yeah, give me a Belmont, give me an Alucard. But especially a Belmont, you know, it makes more sense. But give me a Belmont, give me an Alucard. Put in Dracula, I don't care. I just want Castlevania and Smash Brothers. It deserves, it needs to be there, and fuck you, Konami, for not allowing it to happen. And now we have it. There's nothing really much to say about that. But there's one more thing to talk about between these two characters, and that is, although I do think very likely that we're gonna be seeing a Square Enix character getting added as DLC. And I do believe it's very likely that a Dragon Quest character or Erdrick is to be in Smash. I also don't want it to happen. Please don't kill me, Dragon Quest and Kingdom Hearts fans. Is mostly because Square Enix kinda sucks dick. Honestly, there's no better way to say it. They suck at it. They suck dick. They will probably... it's dumb. They are the company that won't allow Final Fantasy to have more than 2 songs in Smash Bros. They won't allow Final Fantasy to have spirits, I think. I've played almost the entirety of World of Light. I've gotten 800 spirits out of like 1,300, I believe. And I'm pretty sure I haven't seen a single dragon or Final Fantasy fighter spirit. I'm gonna get one once I get the Cloud's Fighter Spirit, but I'm not thinking anything else. I don't think I'm going to see anything else. Square Enix doesn't allow it. We have 2 songs, no remixes. Cloud barely has any costumes. Cloud's costumes are all black and a different shade of black. Now sure, there are characters that are from Nintendo and even from Sega that have that problem of like not enough costumes. Pac-Man, for example, I know it's Namco, but it's still Pac-Man. No costumes, basically. Lucario, terrible costumes. Sonic, barely any colors to go with different shades of blue. But at the very least, he does have a black costume. But Cloud, you look at Cloud, it's basically a red, a blue, a green. Putting that in quotes because it's kind of hard to call them those colors. They barely look anything like it. And I think the same thing could happen to anyone from Square Enix that comes into the game. And I would and I know the thing that hurts so much about Cloud, and it would hurt so much about other characters coming from Square, is that every character in Smash has so much love, so much dedication put into them. Every little reference is there. Like you could see, you can hear it in the music, you can see it in the stages, you can see it in the characters, with all the different costumes, like referencing other things from those series. And a character from Square is always going to be missing a lot of these things, because we're gonna get the stage, sure, but like even Midgar is not that interesting of a stage. Midgar, if you take away the summons from Midgar, you're playing Battlefield. And nothing wrong with Battlefield. Battlefield's actually a pretty good stage, but it's not unique in any way, shape or form. It needs the summons, you know? And even the summons don't really do much. Oh yeah, the stage is cut in half and there's fire and there's water and oh, these 2 are electrified. And those are cool and all, but it's still just you could remove the backgrounds, you know? And you could do those effects, like let's put that stage, let's take all the background and put the background in the Miiverse stage. You know, just a random one, and you could just say that those things, the split it in half, the electrocution, the fire, all comes in because of comments. There's literally, and by the way, if I'm not mistaken, people complain about the spirits being JPEGs. I do believe that's the exact same thing they're doing with the summons. They're basically just JPEGs from my moving a little bit, but they're either JPEGs or just basic sprites. They're not. No, I think they're 2D. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. But they do look 2D to me. Jesus, that took a while for me to get it out. But anyway, that will be it for that segment of the video. And Jesus, my voice is a little rough a little bit for no apparent reason. But anyway, let's go on to the comment section of this week. We're going over Minecraft Steve's one. And actually we had 4 comments, which was really nice. The video gained more views, I believe, than the other 2 in the same time period. Not overall. I think overall he's still behind Goku and behind Travis Touchdown, but that's really cool. But anyway, we got 4 comments, and well, one of them is just yes, and 3 from the same person, Electric Alien. And Electric, I'm gonna ask you one thing very clear. I'm not gonna go you over, I'm gonna go over a little bit of your series trophies ideas. But the one comment I want to talk about specifically is this the percentage one. Do you mean that Minecraft Save has a 0.234273 and then a bunch of numbers? I'm not gonna repeat all of them. Is it 0.2, or are you saying that it has all of that almost guaranteed, actually guaranteed, times 100 quadrillion billion times of being in Smash? I believe you missed the dot there, just saying, because it looks like it. Then your Sis Trophy idea of Enderman grabbing you and instant killing you, I kind of don't agree with that, mostly because I don't like this. Here's the thing, I kind of understand the Sis Trophies being able to grab you and killing you, depending on the percentage you have. I don't agree particularly with the Enderman, because Enderman, unless they changed Minecraft completely in the last 5-6 years since last time I uploaded. I think that was 6 years ago. And Enderman now doesn't teleport around, then it would feel a little bit busted for, you know, a guy to teleport behind you or at you, grab you and kill you. I think that's a little bit OP. A creeper jumping on you and jumping, that would be cool. Dolphins jump on screen. I did not know that they have dolphins now in Minecraft. I know it's from mods. I didn't know they actually added their official. The Ender Dragon, let's see, flying you wither, or flinging you wither. That might be from the. Oh yeah, jumping on screen and flinging you wither. I believe you meant water. Probably. Yeah, that'll be cool. Actually, yeah, water. The Ender Dragon, slime ball, slime magma cube phantom. Is that a new moss? I don't know Minecraft. I haven't played it in years. But the Ender Dragon, if they added, should be like a boss. It'll be fun as a boss, I think. And then Terry Servanson once again with another comment. Minecraft content could be added as spirits, but other than that, I can't see Minecraft character as a playable character or a full me costume, maybe as a me hat. I didn't think of that, actually, the me costume route. Be interesting to see. Yeah, mostly a me costume, a hat. Can they have they done me costumes that only affect the weapon? Because if they do that, I could see them doing it. Just have the diamond sword as a weapon. Oh, they absolutely should do weapons as a separate costume, because then you could do so much more. You know, yeah, maybe have a sword would be cool. The diamond sword would be neat. As for Dragon Quest, we might be getting a Dragon Quest character as the second fighter in the Fighter Pass fighter, but that's just speculation. But I think getting a Dragon Quest represented with me costumes would be better, just so people don't complain about more sword fighters. I agree with you, but people that argue about sword fighters can go fuck themselves, because every time you hear that, oh, there's too many sword fighters, those people annoy me, because those are the same people that before Ganondorf got a sword be like, Ganondorf needs a sword, guys. And they're those same people that are gonna be like, gimme Sora, who has a sword. Same thing with Chrom. They were asking for Chrom that has a sword. And yes, Sora, technically speaking, doesn't have a sword. It's a keyblade, but that's a sword that looks like a key. Same thing, you know. Just call it like I sees it. And also, like, the sword fighters, like, Sakurai already addressed that basically by not introducing a single brand new sword fighter into the game. Maybe the Joker will have a dagger, from what I hear. He's possible. Like, I don't like that when people start annoying, like, there's too many sword fighters. Oh no, another swordsman. It's like, people did the compilation of characters that have swords. There's more characters that brawl and use magic than there are sword wielders. It's redonkulous. I'm not sure that list came out before the introduction of, who was it? It was Cloud and Bayonetta, I think. But still, no, Cora and Bayonetta. But still, we can now add in like all the characters from Ultimate. Remove Chrom, who is an Echo. There's no new sword fighters in Smash Ultimate. Yeah, there's none. I was legitimately thinking. But yeah, I guess that'll be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Double featured today. Join me again next week. Next week I was supposedly gonna be like oh, up until now we've only done third-party characters, so episode 5, I was gonna do 4, 5 was gonna start the Nintendo first-party route of talking with characters that are from Nintendo franchises that could be in, but I remembered one more character. And before we go into the third-party or first-party IPs and characters, I wanted to do this one, and I want to talk about this one before a direct happens, and I feel like we're gonna have a direct. I think we're not gonna be getting a direct until March, and the reason why I just took a breath there and I'm looking at it, I'm looking at the counter right now, is that I have a feeling, man, every time I said there was gonna be a direct, we didn't get one, and I'm thinking like we won't be getting a direct on this until the 7th of March. And I bet because I just said that there's going to be a direct on the 7th of February. That's going to be funny, ain't it? That'll be hilarious if that actually happened. But anyway, the character that will be next week will be Scorpio from Mortal Kombat. That's what more early on Mortal Kombat came to mind. But anyway, that'll be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been the Wedge of the S. See you guys next time.